The Coaches Show is brought to you by Highway 55, Burgers, Shakes, and Fries. The Professional Fence Company. Our name says it all. No job too big or too small. Nunboys.com. And GPS Photography and Video, GPSPhotoandVideo.com. Welcome back to the Coaches Show. And Hal, finish your thought.
What I was saying, somebody texted me before the game, and with Pincrest being kicked out of the playoffs because of the 8-quarter rule, and they were basically 0-10 in our game, and obviously we hadn't won a game yet, somebody texted me and said, does this game really matter? Is it really going to be played tonight?
Yeah.
And all I did was turn my phone around to the field where the guys were warming up, and I said, you ask those guys if this game really matters.
You asked
and
those
you could see it. And you could see it in there. You could see it on our. You could tell Pincrest was not played.
Oh, it was like a morgue.
It was like they were not excited. They were just.
But throughout high school football, I mean, we weren't the only 0-11 team. There's a lot of teams out there where they were not going to be in the playoffs, and this is their last game, and so they're playing for each other. And the kids were emotional. I mean, you saw a lot of things happen. We blocked a field goal in the 89-yard kickoff return. Nakeem Shaw, I mean, that sparked it. Donovan Word hit a sack, tackle for loss. Sean Small, I mean, they were flying to the ball all over the place.
It seemed like it.
And it was like, okay, where was this emotion all year? If they play like this all year, and you look back at the Southview game, the Rocky Mount game, the Purnell Sweat game,
New Hanover.
I mean,
The close ones.
it's just games on the schedule that you should have won, and it kills you. I mean, KJ Thorpe throws the bomb across a beautiful pass to Andre Pegues.
Oh, sweet.
Hit him right in stride. You can't coach it any better than that.
Heck of a time to kind of come full circle, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But it goes back to, and we talked about this. There's only two situations in a football season where it's your last game.
Right.
There's only two, and one is at the end of the regular season if there's absolutely no chance you're going to the playoffs, and the other one is if you make it all the way to the state championship.
That's
right.
That's the only two situations that for a fact that you're playing in your last game. And so I think that knowledge and the absolute value of that moment really resonated with our players more so than, posing the what ifs, what if this were your last time ever playing. And what I've got to do a better job of, I think, is making our player personnel understand football is a brutal game.
Oh, it
is a brutal game. It's a violent game. It's an unforgiving game. The fact that Jacob Rushing missed 3 games this season, Brandon Smith, I think Brandon missed 4 games this season.
Right.
You don't know what kind of adversity you're going to be confronted with in the game of football. So you really your zeal and your intensity and your enthusiasm for the moment has to be at an incredible peak every time you take the field.
Right.
And there's no doubt when you look at our game against Pincrest that those things were as peaked as they had been all season.
They were up there. The guys
you look
played
up. Start of the fourth quarter, it's 28-20. And you get that feeling just like at Purnell Sweat and at Southview and Rocky Mount. We're in this game.
We were.
It's one of those games that we not only could have won, we should have won. And then our old habits creep back in. We throw the interception. Pincrest returns it to the 2. They score. Now it's 35-20. Jacob Rushing goes down, and just all the energy in the air just seemed to just come out of us.
Set in.
Well, and I think that goes back. We talked about this earlier in the season. I think, especially among our kids who aren't what we had termed, I believe, career football players.
Right.
When you see a guy like Jacob or Brandon Smith, who you associate with being a great football player, when you see them get put in an adverse situation and go down, the confidence level of everybody else tends to wane. And I I think they feel like our ability to be as good as we can be without them. I don't know. You know, it's a psyche thing.
It's a psyche thing, and that's something you work on like in spring, in the summer, because you need that person that's behind Jacob, behind Brandon, to be able to step in there and not lose a beat.
People got to be able to step up.
Got to be able to step up.
Got to be able to step up.
And you had so many young guys, and I think that just bodes well for the future.
Yeah, and you know, then they hit the big pass play on us, the post corner. That was in the first half, but I mean, again, another game we could have won, another game we should have won, and so that's that.
We didn't win.
The other game we didn't win. So we finished the season 0-11. But when you sum it up, Coach, you know, what can you say? I mean, if a coulda, woulda, shoulda, so many games. There was so much good football left on the field. And you look at the penalties, the jumping offside, the interceptions, playing young players, because that's all we had.
Biting on the defense when the over the top
looking
play.
into the backfield. I mean, you know, there's not too much you can do with that.
Well, you know, they're correctable mistakes. Mm-hmm. They're mistakes that are corrected, like you said, with experience. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of work to do. We have an incredible amount of work to do, and that work's begun. Yeah. And you know, the momentum on it is not what it will be in a few weeks, but and then obviously over the course of time, that momentum's going to gradually accelerate until we get back into a cycle where hopefully we can, you know, wash a little bit of that from our minds. Yeah. Not completely, because you know, I'm going to constantly remind everyone about this season, because you know, we want to be able to learn from it and use it to our advantage. You know, yes, it's behind us, but you know, you got to take the lessons and the experience of you know, that we gained in these 11 games, and we have to figure out a way to use that to our advantage.
Well, let me go ahead and throw out the question that I asked, I believe, last week, and you can take it as far as you want to take it. I know you told me the other night there was going to be some different play calling going on. Anything moving forward that we're going to do differently that you want to say here tonight, or do you want to just wait till we get into spring workout?
Well, you know, the analysis is underway of everything, top to bottom, player personnel. So much of what we do with our player personnel will be dictated by how much stronger, how much faster, and how much bigger some folks get. You know, a detailed analysis of our coaching staff is underway, and I'm going to sit down with each coach individually. And, you know, I'm contemplating a couple of different shifts on the staff dynamic, just to try and make sure that we have our most experienced folks working where we need them the most, and to make sure that the quality of coaching that we have throughout our program, not just at the varsity level, but the JV and the B team,
and in the middle school,
is what we
got to get down there and knock on some doors.
Well, I've had several good conversations with Coach Hollingsworth and Coach Adair and Coach Williams, and very, very optimistic about you know, some things that we want to be able to do with them and with the rising ninth graders. And so, you know, that day's here. It's here a little bit sooner than I would have liked, but obviously sooner than all of us would have liked.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
It's the hand that we've been dealt, and we got to play it.
Yep. When we come back, Coach, we're going to go straight into the Ask the Coach segment. Good segue by you, Hal, but we've got some burning questions we need to get answered. We'll be right back.